Hey, hey, hey. So I figured out one way. I haven't done a proper introduction yet, but that is from the beautiful Taz Hawks. I said I wanted some music made for the channel, and she went and did it 24 hours, boom, in the box. In there you go, Jennifer. Much love to you. And so thank you, Taz Hawks. We love you. Um, so I really appreciate that, and I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm going to be fire dancing to that for sure during Valhalla, and creating another video with that underneath. So thank you very much. Thank you, Big Brother, for telling Susie. I appreciate you, because I forgot. I haven't got the phone attached, and I forget. So love you very much, Big Brother. Yep. Hey, Paul, Newcastle. It's rained finally. Isabel, hi on Facebook. This is a daily energy reading, but you know what? We'll pull some cards, of course. Angel, hello, Angel on Facebook. Appreciation and love to you. Grandpa Brian, 420 in the house. Hey to you. Uh, I'll have a look at that, Angel. I won't do too much on personal, usually on these. I need to do one that's just pulling cards for people I do. These that we give people a day. Uh, Samantha, go and get your own page. Sweetness in love and light, you know, jog on. On Facebook. Got people jumping on the post. I don't know how to let it stop, but people won't go to people like that. Um, it's jumping on the Facebook, I have a feeling about you. Blah 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 blah. Give me your money. Blah 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 blah. So Samantha, do your own work. Sweetness. Draga, 13, like the name. Interesting concept. So let's go. Boom, boom, boom. It's at 13:13 on the clock, 3rd of July 2021. This is the Daily Energies Stroke Tarot readings for the day of today, to give you insight and to give you foresight to help you reach your greatness and make decisions not in a reactionary state, but in a very foreknowing state. So, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles, speaking of land, speaking of abundance. There's my sister, Susie Q. Speaking of abundance, speaking of reclaiming that land, there is a lot going on in the collective stage, as you all probably know. If you don't, there would be a concept for you to wake up to the fact that the elites are literally buying up the land, facilitating foreign lands that are very much fascist states and the likes to buy up key land. We're looking right now at the Aboriginals and what they are going through, quietly being ushered from their land in order for, in many ways, the CCP to move in on that land. I've been speaking to a friend over in Australia, and certain things came up, and to be honest, it makes my blood run cold. So where they're claiming the land, where they're claiming the abundance, it's time to get active on claiming your own land. And in claiming that space, you enter into relationship with that land. You learn about it, and it teaches you and it gets from you too. It's an alchemical process. So growing things, being grounded in an appreciation of nature as it should be, rather than feeling this detached feeling from the land that we walk upon. We are a part of it. Whether we were implanted here or not is by the by now. We are a part of it. We rely on it, and it relies on us in a great extent to control ourselves and treat it with appreciation rather than depriving it of what it needs. So making steps to be grounded today and being in connection with that land, keeping clear focus on your intent for what your wants are, for your abundance, for the people around you, for the things you have around you, for the things you have to able to utilize, for the things that you can create, the abundance in business, etc., etc. On the bottom of the other deck, we have the mother, which is in this card. It's the mother. It is the Empress. You can see the 3 generations and the bump. So the 4th generation. That would be going into the Emperor, which would obviously be the mother and the Emperor, the Empress and the Emperor coming together to create life. And so this is a force to be reckoned with. This is the divine feminine force of creation. Think Lilith, think Kali, think all of those, shining ones that help create and have that symbiotic relationship where the seed blows in the wind and finds its home and plants itself and grows, just as we do. We're finding places to implant seed, whether that be in the physical sexual concept or whether that be in the concept of creation, in the abundance, in the physical things that we bring into the physical, from the internal, from the thought process, from the intent, bringing it into the physical. The message is always from the Emperor's card, the mother in this deck, is the thoughts, the words, and the deeds create the reality that you live in. And so this is where you do have to take sovereignty and divinity over each and every day, in every way, by learning how to process thoughts, learning how to be in dominion over thoughts, in that, you know, we all have those thoughts that sneak in. There are so many forces, not even just for bad, just around us, that we're absorbing all the time. So being very cognizant of what is your real thoughts and what are thoughts of others that are sort of finding a way to plant seeds in your mentality, in your consciousness. So being super divine and super sovereign and precise over this is key. Very key also to see that it is important that we procreate. Where there are outside forces telling us we're wrong to be living, telling us we're ruining this planet, telling us creation is wrong, telling us scientific creation of a baby is much more is much better for the environment. That's coming up, wait for it. And so this is where we don't take that on board. We don't let ourselves absorb that message, and we certainly don't let our children absorb that message. We let them absorb the message, excuse me, of their true inheritance, of their true abundance, of the fact that they are beautiful beings. You're going to create beautiful beings if we let them know they're beautiful beings, rather than letting them know they're wrong for their skin color, all of the outside forces. The list goes on of the penetration that they're trying to create through the membrane of the being, of the person, of how they feel about themselves. And that's very much going towards the children. So making sure that they know their true inheritance, making sure they know what a seed does, how hard it has to work, what germination is. This all works to having healthy, balanced and whole humans that can apply that knowledge then when they go on to procreate, choosing partners that are whole, not broken, choosing partners that are strong, not weak, choosing partners that are of a mentality that will bring children up in a way that they find their beauty and find their abundance, and the story goes on. So we do need to do some course correcting in this aspect for sure regarding the children. If you have children around you, if you are still bringing up children, or if you're a grandparent, an uncle, or an aunt, a brother or a sister, make sure today that you are really working hard to make sure that that child knows it is exceptional in its individuality, and that does not take away from anybody else's individuality, but that it is okay for it to own its exceptional way of being, its individuality, that what it brings to the fore, what it brings to the table, they. And so this is where we're going to bring the more compassionate, empathetic side into the physical reality, creating beings that are aware of themselves and not afraid to be aware of themselves and their eccentricities and everything else that makes them an individual. So I clarified again on top of the cards. I felt I needed to while Kaz's music was playing. The death card comes out on the bottom of that deck too. So it goes on that in the reading, the first card is death, major arcana. This is about, yes, mass death happening very, very soon. It is already happening in many different ways around the world, and we are being fed a narrative that does not reflect the true process of this death at all, and much more death to come. This has been warned about, and this has been talked about. I think people are a little bit immune to the severity of it and what it is going to cause. But death on many levels in the physical. Death card very rarely means physical death, but in this case it's been coming up, and it very much means it's the forewarning of many physical deaths Another aspect of the death card coming up very prevalently is that it is a death to what was, in that we are witnessing animated beings that have actually changed their sacred DNA line. They have changed their lineage. It is like they have been born again into a patented product. And so there is a death to that, and that is odd to look at. It feels strange to look at. You see the person that you have known all of your life, maybe, but you're starting to notice that they have very different mannerisms. The mannerisms that they had that made them that individual are not there, and there is a certain robotic type of energy to them. Maybe you're noticing that the aura has changed or is dissipating for sure, and so that is a death on another level too. This speaks of also the death of relationships, the death of old belief systems. It speaks of the requirement right now for all light workers, empaths, intuitives, aware and awake ones to let go fully of everything that is being taught and reabsorb that really resonates with you, to question all that has been taught that has weighed you down, these false skins that have been put upon you, this false history that has been laid upon you, this false guilt, i.e. of color of skin, of race. That is a huge one right now, to lay that down on the ground and let it be absorbed by the mother, letting go of it fully, letting go of that generational guilt or that generational racism that has come through. This is a huge day for that, and a huge energetic process. It is an up and down process. It is a process where you might feel like you're in mourning 1 minute and then elation the next. It might feel like you're carrying a ton load of bricks 1 minute, and you do the process, you work through that, and you lay those bricks down and your arms feel like they're floating. You feel light. Just go through this process, go through it with intent and focus on what you're doing, yes, but allowing the process to flow, allowing yourself to go through the different emotions and different experiences and feelings that you have through this process, so that you can fully let go of it at the end and be as the skeleton again, the skeletal form of you, where you start to rebuild your the makeup of the way you think, of your thought patterns, because you'd let go of all that is false and all that has been used as a veil to distort and manipulate and corrupt this realm, like this circuit board that has been laid on top of this reality that then people have absorbed and taken on board and created a whole story of victimhood or of warriorship or of better than or worse than, all of those things being laid bare today, and the energy and the forces behind that are absolutely supportive of that for sure. We've got to clarify it, the Five of Pentacles. This speaks to being outside of the process also. So for a lot of you who are awake and aware, this is odd to witness this death on multiple levels, in that it is like being in a movie, go figure, where you do feel outside of the process because you're not part of the narrative, you're not part of this script, trying to understand why these people have made these decisions for this special infusion, why these people have been so quickly and happily made a part, being made extras of the movie without pay. Some getting pay, actually. Information's come out about that, where, you know, the likes of YouTube, Instagram and whatnot are allowing people to tout for people to pay influencers to influence people's decision making as far as the special infusion goes. So it does feel like an odd process. It may feel like you're outside of the crowd. It may be that actually, as this time has gone on over this last coming of 2 years, a lot of people have been falling from the wayside, like the snake skin falling from the snake. You've wriggled out of that space, and some of it has happened through a process of collision and then moving away. Some of it has happened just naturally, you know, where you're rubbing up against that rock, that person, and it just doesn't it just sheds away from you. So a lot of you may be looking around and thinking, where has everybody gone? This might be a little bit of a difficult part of the process for some of you. This is where you reach out to people. This is where you accept that you are part of a tribe. You are part of a collective of people that are here. Few may be in the grand scheme of things, but enough for you to be able to reach out and be able to find trusting relationships with people who are on the same page, living in the same frequency, able to see similar things, but give another perspective of those same things for you to build a bigger picture, build a bigger network. And so for sure, it might feel today like you're outside of the process. It might feel like you're not a part of it. That's not a bad thing. The Five of Pentacles can often feel a bit depressed, a bit low, a lack mentality. But actually, in this process, I cheer you and say, thank goodness you're not part of this process. Thank goodness you're outside of this circle. And so, to clarify that further, the mother, the divine feminine came forward again in the Queen of Cups. So this speaks to being in allowing yourself to go through this flow, go through this process, allowing yourself to feel the emotions, but not getting lost in the emotions. This is not a Page of Cups. This is a Queen of Cups in dominion over the emotions. So having the ability to feel when it is right to feel sadness, and feel when it is right to feel elation, and allowing yourself to just flow through that process to clear your waters out. Think of yourself as a filtration system today, where you're filtering out all of the junk that you've acquired along the way, and where you're reliving, rebirthing into your pure form, into your pure waters, where you have those things that resonate with you and you can reach back. A lot of you will be having messages from ancestors, from guides, from loved ones who have not been able to maybe get the messages through quite so clearly because of all this junk that needed to be filtered out first. A lot of you having breakthrough messages of real times that have gone by, of technologies that they had, of the ways of living that they had, of rituals. And so it really is a rebirthing process, renewal process today, with the peaks and troughs that come with that, the contractions and the flow, the contractions and the flow, allowing yourself to be birthed into newness. Now, the next card is the Queen of Cups again. And so this speaks of the ability to control these emotions. Do not allow yourself to get lost in the story that empaths are weak, that, you know, there's a victim mentality, that if you start crying, you don't know when you'll stop. Yes, you can stop because you are a master, or you can become a master of all of your elements, water being one of your elements. You can allow those tears to flow when there's that pent up energy, or there's that compassion of the cup runneth over, so to speak. And you have the ability to teach yourself, if you haven't got it already, to switch those tears off in a second. Children do it all the time. This is where we do need to be more like children, more like we were before all of the control and manipulation has occurred. In that you'll laugh when your child, you know, is so upset that tears are starting down the face, like literally like bullets flying everywhere. And then all of a sudden something happens that pleases them. Those tears just stop, done, boom, gone. This is where they have the actual more dominion over their emotions. They allow themselves to feel, but they allow themselves to know that they've got no embarrassment over just switching those tears off like a tap. And this is what the Queen of Cups is. It is a queen. It is a divine. It is a master over the element. So to clarify, the Queen of Cups, the Five of Cups comes up. So we've got the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups and Death, and then the Five of Cups here. Yes, there is going to be some sadness in the air today. If you're not feeling it, great. But to recognize that others are is not a bad thing either. There is going to be some sadness today. It feels like we're going to have the first day of the ramping up of reported deaths, of reported takeovers. And this does bring a level of sadness. This does bring a level of sadness in a lot of individuals' lives, where things are ending, where things are dying, people are dying, cycles in their life are dying. Again, it is important to be in recognition of this, to allow yourself to feel this, but not get lost in it. There are two cups still standing in the upright. That is your divinity, your divine feminine and your divine masculine balance that is there for you to use and utilize as part of you, just as you use and utilize your bloodstream while you're living in this animated body. And to dig into that and to really understand that is a powerful thing, because it means you can go through any process, you can go through any loss, you can go through any bliss, and allow yourself to not get lost in it. Allow yourself to know that you always have those inner skills that you can balance out and, start another journey, start another experience. So be aware of that today. Talk to yourself as though you are a master, a wizard, a high witch, whatever label gives you an empowerment, an ascended being. Talk to yourself as though you are speaking to somebody who you respect, like that, outside of yourself. Build yourself up in that part of you, that you don't start to fall into victimhood. We're going to see a lot of things that aren't going to be pleasing to the eye for the aware and awake coming up. Things have gone too far. There's certain parts of this process we're going to have to go through from these outside forces. And if we can't deal with it now, then it doesn't look good for what is coming. So it is important that we challenge ourselves through our personal experiences and through the experiences that we're having looking out further into the wider stage, that we challenge ourselves to be in dominion over our elements, to work with our elements, to speak through our elements. This is the base of all magic, elements, and how you use them, how you draw them into alchemical processes. To be a victim in this is to drown yourself. To stay in the Five of Cups without remembering that you are a master over your waters, that you are the captain of your seas, so to speak, is to drown yourself. It is to dehydrate yourself. To be lost in the Five of Cups forever is to be in a dinghy on top of the sea, all of this water surrounding you, but you can't drink it, because you need to take that plunge initially in the Five of Cups to jump into the sea and start swimming for shore and just feel what that water has to give you, the experiences and lessons that water can give you to absorb. But you do have to take the plunge to feel them, to be in them, in order to get to shore where you can drink water that is going to nourish you, that is going to hydrate you. This is where also water is coming up in a big way. Water and fire came up yesterday, and it was drawing the fire down into the ground, into the water. Now there's a fire on top of the sea. So be aware of that. They are striking, they're saying it's a mistake. There's a big oil line in the middle of the sea. The sea is actually on fire today. The elements are mixing, that the sea is on fire today. So much oil is coming out. This is a deliberate act. This is to ramp up the lack, the Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups. So be prepared in the physical, food and water, etc., etc. There's going to be, I think, a few more oil strikes. As far as I've remote viewed, as far as I've seen, there's going to be a few more oil strikes where they break a certain part of the pipeline, a significant part, or a significant part enough that it has an effect down the line. Look out for about 3 or 4 more of these around the world to create this what seems like a natural accident lack that starts coming down the pipeline to the people in selected areas of the world. So look out for that. That's just by the by something to take note of. But to be in flow, to be able to feel the sea, to feel the salt in the wounds, so to speak, in order to get to shore, that is you being in connection with and in relationship with your elements. At this point, this is where eventually you're going to find that the tide's going to help you as far as you go. You go so far towards the shore, and the tide's going to help push you in with those waves. It's going to encourage you to be back where you can drink the water. But all of your elements can either kill you or nourish you, can either build you up or turn you to dust. So it's to be in dominion and mastership over these elements in particular for what's coming down the line you know, because they're not planning pretty things, and it doesn't look pretty for many people already. Just because it's not happening on your doorstep doesn't mean it is not coming up the street, so to speak. So be aware of that for sure. To clarify further, we have the King of Wands in the upright. This is the fire on the water. It's pointing down. The wand is pointing towards the water. This would be the fire on the sea. Expect that to spread and more to occur that way. They are working with the elements in their plans for sure. And so in your individual lives, this speaks of a king that came up yesterday, and this is in reverse, the King of Wands. And so this in this deck is the Sage of Wands. This is a master over manipulation in the reverse, of manipulating people towards a certain narrative that would cause a lot of upset. This kind of energy is narcissistic. It will triangulate its energy. Some of you might have been finding out that a partner has been cheating, that there has been relationships outside of the relationship, so to speak. And this is upsetting, yes, but it's from this point on, where do you find your self-respect? How do you feel these emotions? But how do you maintain your crown on top of your head as the Queen of Cups? Do not be burnt by this fire. The words will be smooth like honey, you know, to get your, open your door again, so to speak. Be aware of this. Yes, you can go down this line if you choose. If you do, it's very dramatic, very chaotic, very destructive. But if you use this energy, if you use this time to actually be the queen, put the crown on your head and put it on straight, sit up straight and be in your throne and in dominion over your elements, so that you feel all of the experience and lessons that this experience can bring you, but still be moving out of that space. To not be treated that way is for sure a message for a lot of people today. Now, the next card is the Four of Cups. So this speaks of not being able to see the gift in the elements, in the lessons, in the experience. Yes, some of this isn't very nice. A lot of this isn't very nice. But the gifts and the lessons that can be drawn out of it is phenomenal, is of growth, is of expansion, is of progressiveness. But, you know, if you're going to sit there and not even look at what is being given to you from the seventh heavens, from the sky, then, you know, you're going to sit maudlin. You'll see a lot of people sort of being in a woe is me, you know, that donkey from Winnie the Pooh, that kind of energy, that Eeyore, that's his name, you know, like, oh, you know, it's not good, and oh, this, you know, very, very maudlin, but not willing to get up and do something with the experience of whatever this resonates for those people that are in this energy. Now, to clarify, the Four of Cups, we have the flying Maiden of Cups, Page of Cups in reverse. This is where messages are coming through distorted, particularly in relationships today. Very manipulative messages. Be aware of friends that aren't really friends. Be aware of this King of Wands in reverse. You know, be aware to not shoot the messenger. Be aware to actually notice, you know, when people are trying to actually help too, when people are actually trying to be there for you. It might be that they're saying something that you don't want to hear. Maybe that's because you're hiding yourself from the truth, the Four of Cups. Maybe that's, you know, something that you need to look at, rather than externalizing it on the person that's trying to hand you the cup with everything in that you need. You know, maybe, you know, it's because they're giving you that cup of truth. They're making you drink some truth, or asking you to drink some truth. And that is something that you're still trying to cling on to, the narrative, the illusion. And so there are a lot of people with this affected on the collective stage. They're not wanting the truth. They're going to be very aggressive, or very passive aggressive towards you when you try and deliver that truth, when you try and give them those nuggets that they need of knowledge, of wisdom, so that they don't get led down a garden path. But, you know, it's just not marrying up. It's not, yeah, going well. Also, people loving drama. Be aware of people coming forward and saying something like he or she was there last night. Be aware to not just believe what is being delivered to you through this message of this Maiden of Cups in reverse, for sure, that is trying to sort of trigger emotions in a negative way. To clarify that further, we've got the Tower card. So this speaks of, yes, a lot of things are going to come crumbling down today. A lot of things in your individual life might come crumbling down today, but you are going to be standing strong. Please refer back to the sort of tuition video that I did on the writing on the wall of the Tower card in itself. Yes, ego might be bruised today in all directions. This is the crown being taken out by the lightning. Also, the elements having an effect on the earth, reflecting out from us. Whatever is happening with us is reflected out into this reality. And there is a relationship also that is whatever's happening above us in that reality, it comes down into this reality. It's a to and fro relationship. So expect lightning strikes. Actually, Paul from Newcastle said we were expecting thunder. We're still waiting for the thunderstorm so I can go out and dance in it. But, you know, it's raining, so we'll see. But expect certain dramatic, thunderous and lightning events, particularly lightning. And then expect that in a lot of individual lives where certain things that have been built up and built up from illusion are going to have a quick strike into it, a quick truth strike that sort of feels like it's exploding everything up, but it only explodes up what is not resonating for you, what is built up on illusion, what does not do you good for your greatness right now. A lot of growing out of relationships, growing out of situations, growing out of groups, for sure. Be aware of groups, be certainly discerning within groups. I've found a powerful group of people and I am so grateful for them because the core of them, reading their energy, it is beautiful, it's powerful, it's great, and I am super, super proud to be a part of it. However, on the wider stage still, and a lot of people within that group know and are wise enough to know to be very discerning of the welcoming of new people, be very discerning and even discerning of old people where ego is taking place, where ego has taken over. Certain truth bombs might be coming out regarding certain group leaders today, for instance, as well as leaders in government. Look out for that, where there are certain truth bombs, certain deals that were made coming out that will surprise many, not all, because many of us are expecting that, but surprise many. So that is the reading of the day of the 3rd of July 2021. Be interesting to see what the lightning activity is going to be like in different parts of the world simultaneously, funny enough. Simultaneously is the word I'm getting. So let's see. Hey Peter Mitio. Hey Rupal. You can ask. Yeah. It is just life at that point. Hey Scotty boy. Hey Jack streaming. Jack streaming. I didn't realize you were in the UK. I'll have to have a meetup with Paul too. Have a barbecue. You're welcome. Welcome to you. Good day, my sister. Scotty boy. Yeah, Jax, I did some work, some more design work on the website last night because of you. So thank you. Sometimes I like it. It's Susie keeps me right. Big brother keeps me right. And I like people keep me right. I've got no ego in that, and I love that. And it did because of you and your energy and just the recognition that it is hard. You just gave me a little bit of a up the Jaxie that I needed to just do a little bit more. I didn't get too much more, maybe not enough done, but I did that bit more last night before I went to sleep. Hey Ali, I'm good. Thank you. Let's see. Somebody smoke underwater. Salt and pepper tomato. I missed something. the amount of so-called psychics jumping on my Facebook trying to say, I've got a message for you. Ay, ay, ay. They're not affiliated with me. They're not part of me. I had somebody like that, pretending to be me on Facebook with profile picture, profile banner, and messaging my friends stupidly, even messaging me to add as a friend. And everybody knows I wait for business to come to me, and I let my skills speak for themselves. And this person was like pushing, I've got a message for you. If you don't get this message, something bad is going to happen. And they were like, you're not Jenny. Dr. Victor, hey to you. Adepoju. Dr. Victor Adepoju. I hope I pronounced that right. I like to try and pronounce things. What have I put on the screen? Whatever happened with the Gulf of Mexico deep water leak, it was supposed to be death of the oceans. And there's oceans underneath the oceans, brother. I don't think they're going to cause the death of it. They just maim it a lot. They just maim it a lot. Let's see, there were some questions. Yes, I read cards, Ali. You can book in personal reading at truedivinemedia@gmail.com, or you can go to my Facebook. You're on Facebook there. Go to True Divine 44 and shoot me a message there on the business page. There, Susie's got it up there. Just do I ever need to wonder? My Susie. I fixed the email address. I would look back at the chat and I was thinking, what are they talking about? And then I realized, Jen, it's you. They're talking about you. Talking about you. Getting it wrong in the description box. Ay, ay, ay. There was a question here. Dr. Victor, career guide. Dr. Victor, career guide. Some guidance for Dr. Victor. Career guide. Yeah, I'm laughing at the absurdities too, Peter. Dr. Victor. I'm not interested in homeopathy, Victor, but I think that would be a great way for you to go down. I think you'll find a lot of interest in it somehow. Wow. So Hanging Dragon, Major Arcana, this speaks of you, Dr. Victor, having the ability to get enlightenment from a different place, from a different perspective. A career maybe that is outside of the normal sphere of what you've been doing, but still allows you to transfer the skills that you've built up over time, into a different path, a very different path, in fact. I don't know why I can see painting as well. I don't know if you would do some kind of healing through art, where you're not actually the artist, but you facilitate people to draw certain things and can draw out certain needs and requirements of healing, or just a perspective with that hanging dragon of how that person sees through a certain lens. Group ones of those where people can, if they feel comfortable, compare pictures and gain other people's perspectives through that, and in that having their own healing. That came up just there. The Nine of Cups speaks that you, with this different career, with this very different homeopathic, holistic type of avenue, that you would do very well going down. This creates this happiness and abundance and a feeling of alignment. The nine being the field of possibilities that Tesla even talked about, and so entering into the potentials rather than the fixed state of what you have been sort of in at the moment. King of Cups comes up as the next card, and that speaks to finding something that you actually love and not questioning how that would create abundance, not questioning how that would come about as a business, just allowing yourself to be in that, and it will naturally fall into place. Not being in such a fixed energy, but more in a flowing energy for sure with the career path. Three of Coins on the bottom of the deck would say that there is teamwork involved here. And to look at that from a different perspective, also with the Hanging Dragon, don't always have to be this sole trader type person or this very individually working person that is quite, it's you are the focus. It's where you can share this with a team, something along those lines for sure. So I hope that helps you. Hope it helps. Yes, Suzanne on Facebook, a lot of people are feeling more alive than ever during this time. This is the separation for sure that a lot of people have been feeling and have been talking about for so long. Hey, baby boy. Who else asked a message? Hey, botanist. Kitty pie. I just want to say these words. Susie speaks abundant favor to you all, nothing missing, nothing broken. May peace be with you always in the midst of chaos. Swords, shields up. When Susie says those words, they are from a place in her heart that is so pure and so intentfully focused that you can gain power from them for sure. Angel, please tell about my friend Farhan Ali, 24th of May. Where's it gone? I think it said we'll get married. It's disappeared though off the chat. So Three of Wands, there's going to be action taken for sure. They're going to take that action. Ace of Cups in reverse, it's not going to be without its hiccups. It's not going to be without certain truths being revealed of the two, of the pair. And but the King of Cups comes out after that with the Seven of Wands. So they're going to have outside people manipulating the process, I feel. It's up to them to be divine and strong in this, because with that Seven of Wands, they're in sort of that self-defense stage, but they do actually have the upper hand just by letting go of the judgments that they might feel from others regarding their marriage. They're going to be taking that action, but you know, there's certain manipulations and certain complaints from other people. We're going to turn that cup upside down somewhat. Again, it's up to them to turn it the right way around. The King of Cups ultimately taking dominion and power. The male in this experience, in this scenario, must take the lead and must be the king and must be protective over his partner for sure. Because it feels like she'll be getting the brunt of the judgments of others that don't appreciate or want the marriage to go ahead, so to speak. I hope that helps. I think I got all the questions. Somebody said about future marriage, I think it was Suzanne. Ten of Wands. It's about in order to attract in marriage, I would say don't get the contractual marriage from the government, but that's me. You know, manifesting is just as sweet, well, sweeter, and you're not incorporating all of the energy that goes behind those contracts that marriage is, and you're certainly not having to pay the government. Page of Coins, a little boy involved, maybe of a partner who already has a child, and the King of Swords in reverse. Not right now, Suzanne. We've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. It feels like you've had certain levels of narcissistic relationships in the past, and there's a certain level of healing that still needs to be done. Otherwise, you're just going to be attracting in an even worse energy that you've had before. But with that study of self and self-exploration and healing, you can certainly change that story, change that outcome, but it comes from within first. So for now, I would say no, but I would say no for good reason, and to have excitement and experience and exploration of self in this aspect, and not be disappointed with that, be excited about that, for sure, for sure. So I've got the bottom and the coffee pot as we speak. Unity, not marriage. Exactly, Suzanne. That's it. Well, if that was your question, Suzanne, I don't know. I think it was on Facebook. It's another Suzanne. So if that unity, that Suzanne speaks total sense in that it should be unity. It should be. It shouldn't be a stress. It should be in unison. You know, flowing together like waves. Individuals coming together and being able to bounce off each other and be in flow and still maintain their individuality, but be in union together without the outside contract of the damn government. Yeah, big bro. You only have to ask, you know that every time. Big brother. Is it just general, big bro? Just a general. See what comes up. Big brother. Goodbye. Fiery, big brother. Cards are flying, fire's coming out. Damn. Okay. 2 of Wands, 5 of Wands, Queen of Coins, the Fool. Is there an inkling of a certain relationship or interest, big bro? Or is that about to come up? Maybe. But the other aspect is the 2 of Wands. There's been a planning, certain planning that you might be coming across or hearing about real soon, or have already heard about, that does not bode well, in that it is causing conflict, in particular within the family. You've got the 2 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, 5, 6, 7, puts you in a defensive position, because you can see with foresight that something's not going to work, something's not right, it hasn't been either well planned out, or it has been more of a nefarious type planning, playing one off against each other, causing this conflict, causing this 5 of Wands. Now, it involves a lady, a Queen of Cups, somebody who is in the rightful state, able to be in dominion and control over their emotions, but maybe either they are the person who has been manipulating the situation, or actually maybe you need to look at it from a different perspective, and they are the ones that have sort of been manipulated. But there's certain conflicts from certain, you find out that it wasn't just a natural progression of events, so to speak, that there was a certain level of planning, certain level of foresight put into it, but it hasn't been done well, because it's totally missed out the 3 of Wands, which then would be taking the action on the embryonic plan of the 2 of Wands. It's jumped that and gone straight into causing conflict with the 5 of Wands, for sure. Again, it's that fire on the water, just as the sea's on fire. There's something set in a light for you at the minute, that is causing this conflict, that is causing this headache, this stress. The Fool card is your major arcana, big bro. This is where you do continue to learn how to let go of that isn't within you, that is outside of you, even that is involving your own seed, involving your own children or grandchildren. a certain level and ability to still have your new experiences, and you have new experiences coming forward, you have new travels coming forward, getting into your 0 point energy and learning even more so how to shut out the outside forces. So if you need anything further, big bro, just let me know and I'll pull some cards, and I can either speak to you or speak to Susie. If there's anything else, big brother, just let me know. Let me know. Ed, hey Ed. Cards are flying now. What's up with the men today? Fiery beans. You're welcome, big brother. Okay, so Ed. Need to know today. Ed, making me move. 3 of Cups. 4 of Swords. 3, 4. And the Hierophant. 5. 3, 4, 5. You're going in sequence, brother. 9 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. 9 of Wands speaking to a certain wound, a certain past event, needing more discernment for your path going forward. So taking time to really pause and strategize of where you've been, how you've gotten here, and you know where you want to go forward to, and releasing yourself from the limitations that others will put on you or that you will put on yourself as regard to your path forward. That 9, again, field of possibilities, but you know, plot that path in order to get to the 10 of Wands, where you can totally release a certain cycle, a certain burden. The 3 of Cups speaks to it speaks to celebration, it speaks to friendship, it speaks to you recognizing even more so the friends that you have in your life and who you are to them, and being in celebration, making the effort to come together, to be in that energetic, you know, disco of where you can have jokes flying and laughter flying, and you know, reminiscing, and certain old friends coming forward for you, Ed, if they haven't already recently. Certain old friends cropping up from way back in the past, going back into that cycle. It's been a long heavy road. And somebody who, you know, you had great bonds with. I think it's a male, and so this is where the friendship is really a center focus for you, and really paying attention to those that are within that group rather than those that are really not in that group, and letting go of giving energy to the other groups of people around you or outside of you that you know just don't serve you. You've got this group of friends that is forming, and that is actually even attracting, catapulting back from the past, old friends that you had great bonds with, that will just naturally be a part of this circle. It speaks to the 4 of Swords. Ed, you are not getting enough proper downtime, especially with that 9 of Wands. The sleep needs to be more intentful sleep. Meditation is absolutely key for you to actually gain more discernment over your field of possibilities, because then you can actually think more clearly. You are able to exercise the mind clutter out of your thought processes if you are to meditate more. Salt baths for sure, Epsom salt baths for sure. Taking the time out there to actually not just get washed, not just, you know, get clean, but actually use it as a time to be in that water, letting the salt extract the poisons from the skin, allowing yourself to then, you know, let go of all of that down the drain and feel truly refreshed. But time out, not just time out for, well, I took time out to sleep. You went to sleep because you were tired. You went to sleep because you were actually exhausted. I want you to be able to be going to sleep with intent. This is me, you know, preaching to the choir here. I need to take this on board myself. But you know, being able to have the kind of sleep that we're actually made to have at the right times, you know, so there is a certain aspect to, after a while, I don't sleep very much at all, and after a while I recognize that I am in a human body, and there is a certain level of better sleep during the hours of the moon being in certain places and you being in certain peaks and troughs of your sleep pattern in relationship with where the moon is over your sky. So being aware of that and will bring in a lot more energy and allow your body to work better for sure. We've got the Hierophant. You are on a real expedition right now of learning, of absorbing knowledge. There's a certain book that's going to crop up for you. It'll be cheap, buy it. It's got things in it that are surprising. It feels like somebody's going to have even made notes in it. This is going to bring just a different perspective and a different layer of knowledge to your already vast amount of knowledge. This is a beautiful reading, but the main point is discernment, discernment over old wounds, over how you got that long and windy road to where you got to now, and to how you go forward. Intent, but downtime, proper downtime to meditate, to process, to extract those poisons out of the skin. There's something coming forward about you incorporating more herbs into your diet. More dandelion leaves, more turmeric, more ginger, more garlic, increasing that. I know you like those things already, but you know, increase that. There's certain amounts of that, and then the salt baths will really help you get into that more holistic balance. So hope that helps. You've never had a girlfriend who drank coffee, Dick? Wow. Spasms aren't letting you sleep, big brother. Well, I'm going to be sending you a whole list of to-dos. I know what you mean, though. My back does that too. If I've got everybody, Susie. I think I've got everybody. You love the bracelet? Oh, thank you, Holly. I got it yesterday from a friend, so just worn it since because it doesn't really match up. I like a bit of sparkle sometimes. Thank you, Holly. It's made by an Indian lady, so they're great at getting sparkly. I appreciate that. You've never tasted coffee? What? Yeah, Dr. Victor, I read for you a little while ago. Let me know how you feel about that. Done Ed? I've done Ed. Posy, hello Posy. Yeah, easy with the cards, big bro. He was flying them all over the place. Making me get up and move. Peter Meteor, the whole idea of police could never be anything but corrupt. Power has no use for love, and love have no use for power. Absolutely. There is no question that at the top of each police force, even in Iran, even in Japan, there is a level of Freemasonry or something similar to it. Absolutely. Corrupt. The police here, you know, it's good to have those videos that come out that show the police, you know, as the human aspect, you know, that are in the job earning for the family and haven't got a bad heart, but we're seeing very different police, as I predicted, on the streets of the UK. mixed in with the normal police, and they do not have empathy, and they do not talk. And I feel a lot of them are foreign. The reason they're doing that is, of course you can, Holly. The reason they're doing that is because there will be that lack of empathy. We're talking about this with the group I go to. There'll be that lack of empathy because it's not their own people. And actually, there's usually a level of generational hate that they can then incorporate from country to country in doing that too. A level of despising the people. So look out for that and try and make the police talk. You'll find that 3 or 4 of the group of them will not talk because they are foreign. They're wearing different coloured hats too. They started incorporating red and yellow hats and whatnot. Holly, the Justice card for you, big major arcana. Now, Justice, I feel like you're looking at Justice in the wrong way, in that you know, waiting and hoping and manifesting into reality that justice be done in your life, and that you're recognized for who you are and recognized for who someone else is or another situation was or is, you know. But justice is actually from your heart. If you are willing, the truth to be seen, or for you to get what you deserve because somebody else is taken from you or pulled from you or kept from you, that focus, it's a very the way that thought process goes out there and like a catapult comes back at you, like every thought process, you are then wishing that on yourself, so to speak, because you know you're wishing, maybe not in a bad way at all, Holly, but you know, wishing that people really see the truth about the person or about the situation, and hoping that people will see the truth. You reverse that by you just being strong in your balanced scales in the middle, like this dragon holding the scales, the fire and the feather, and being light of heart and being passionate about the fact that you know the truth of you know the truth about the situation or experience that you were in, and you will find that from that catapult energy that goes out and hits a few noggins, hits a few heads on the way and comes back, hitting them back again, back to you, will embolden you more, but actually do what you are seeking justice to do anyway. Justice will be done properly then, because you are outside of the situation, and the person or situation that was a bit more nefarious or not so nice or not so honest will be continuing that energy more often than not. And so that is when actually they will not have actually the protection almost of you the way you were seeing justice before. So I hope that makes sense to you. But the balance is for sure getting balanced in the middle, and being confident in yourself that you know your truth, you know the truth of who you are and who you were in any given experience or relationship. The Hanging Dragon, 2 major arcanas, Holly, to seeing things like I've just mentioned there, justice from a different perspective. Dr. Victor got that card too. There's a lot about that, you know, seeing it from the flip side up. The script is often being manipulated and distorted in our individual lives through the people that we allow in. And so to have this enlightenment, wow, from a different picture, from a different perspective, from a different way of looking at it, is super powerful for you, because it's like a key just dropping, a penny just dropping in a key, just opening a door to a certain enlightenment over a situation. A lot of that has got to do with the key dropping when I mentioned the Justice card for you, and how to project out and actually manifest your greatness and your what's the word? The recognition of the truth of who you are in any given experience or in any given time. The World card, Holly, what are you up to? Manifesting greatness. So we've got the Justice card for you, major arcana. We've got the Hanging Dragon for you, major arcana, and then the World card. Through you drawing this back into self, and ignoring and blocking out for a little while the world, the people in it around you, through you speaking these words of power and balance and wholeness, to yourself, and the giving yourself the recognition of the truth of who you are creates this beautiful balance in the scales where you become light of heart and passionate about yourself. Your fire is lit again. Through that, there is this causation of you to get an enlightenment that was there, but just the penny wasn't dropping, and all of a sudden it drops for you, and you feel an energetic shift. This isn't anything outside of you shifting. This is you energetically shifting into a higher perspective of you and being able to see from down up situations, people, plans of others, and actually be able to discern greater because of this enlightenment. So where you were frustrated before with this pause in your life, or this part of your life experience not being had a full stop put to it, not ended, not begun, just in the middle, this is actually a great thing for you. This is a powerful thing for you. Through this, you get another major arcana, which is the world. This energetic shift within you and shift of perspective within you creates the reality around you. Then you'll start to notice people who weren't serving you, who weren't true friends, falling by the wayside. You'll start to see true friends glowing like beacons in the dark, coming towards you. You're attracting in that you're manifesting. So where you've been sort of frustrated regarding these manifestation skills, for bringing your reality into alignment with your intent and what you pictured for your reality to be, all of a sudden this energetic shift that happens within you then has this catapult effect, this domino effect on the reality around you. So a lot is changing for you, Holly. You're going through a huge energetic shift, and it is beautiful and it is powerful. So take it for all it is. And the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck just speaks of victory within this process, victory for you, where you do get that vindication. That's the word, vindication, that you've been looking for and searching for, but you've always been searching for it in the minds outside of you, outside of your consciousness, outside of in other people's perspectives rather than your own. So drawing this back in actually gives you the victory that you've been seeking for such a long time in all areas of your life, because this is the world. You're creating your own terrain, your own reality, the people within it, the living experience within it, the home, the cars, the things that you use. The garden would be super important to you. You're planting your own seeds in your own garden finally, rather than giving away too much to others outside of self. This process is teaching you how to draw it back in and pull that energy back in for a while. And it's not a bad thing to utilize. It's actually a beautiful and powerful thing to utilize your energy for you and you alone, because ironically other people will gain from that. The wisdom and spirituality sometimes can get a little bit distorted in love and light. You've got to give. Actually, by doing that, you just weaken you weaken your being. You're giving away your currency, giving away your power, your fire, your spark. Just by igniting your own spark and being light with that, you actually have a positive impact on people around you, just because they come in your auric field, or just because you become successful and start employing people. So seeing it from that hanging dragon, from that hangman perspective, is super powerful for you. Awesome reading. Wow. There you go, Holly, on Facebook. If I can tweet to you for my daughter to start dating. I'm super thankful that Abby waited and has a lovely boyfriend. She's 21, but I'm so glad that he's him, and that his parents have brought him up to be the person that he is. I'm super grateful, but I'm also super grateful that my daughter is a wise owl. You're welcome, Holly. Hope it helps. I know it will help, actually. You're in a huge shift. Let me know how you get on, Holly. I would love to know your progress in this new enlightenment that you're gaining. Beautiful reading. Susie Q, my big sister, of course. course, of course, of course. Susie, look, Barry. Pushing them out. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. Temperance. Alchemist. Find a song, Peter, in your hard drive. Oh, Jack's dreaming. If you're thinking of, if you're talking about, I think you're talking about, and sorry, I'm just picking up on the chat, that spiral thing that I did yesterday, that might have been for you too. It was for Gaia as well. You know, that when she's changing and growing in flow and the other partner is staying fixed, in particular with the substance, it's difficult. There's a collision, you know, and ultimately she's going to have to get out of it. If I'm picking up on the right. Lucid dreaming is a very great art. So Susie Q, my sister, we've got the 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So I know that your perception is great and vast, but looking deeper into avenue of emotions that's coming up has got dividends there, and it's just something that you just haven't noticed yet, but you can feel it brewing in the background, and it's good. It is good. It's beautiful, but there's a flirtation with a new way of feeling and allowing yourself without guilt to feel that for sure. Now the Ace of Wands, of course, is a very passionate energy. So again, like Barry, you've got this fire on the water, like the sea right now, the fire on the water, really drawing in with alchemy elements in your life that wouldn't usually exist for a long time on top of each other, with each other in such close contact. But there you go, it's happening. And so this Ace of Wands also is your creativeness. It is your green fingers right now. It is your passion towards that and your drive towards that preparedness. This Ace of Wands, I love this Ace of Wands because it's the dragon, and like there's the wand, there's the looking glass, there's the crystal ball, there's all of the books. It is like my Susie's attic, and I haven't been in her attic because she's way over the pond, but I know that this is absolutely my Susie's attic. It's got everything in it that anybody could possibly want and need. And so this vast creativeness is for sure. It does need to progress though, and I think that's the 4 of Cups, the progression into certain channels, certain avenues that you know you've been driven towards doing for a long time as part of your creativeness, to gift to others by gifting that avenue to yourself. You know what I mean? You need to get on with it. So on the next card, we have the Temperance card, the Alchemist. You are playing around with things, planting seeds, and playing around with how to look after them, how to process, what kind of alchemical process they're really good with, and what they don't like, what they do like. This is super powerful. But actually also you have noticed yourself that you have leveled up yet again, being able to not get as worried or frustrated on behalf of others, being able to transmute that energy and being such a pro at it, really leveling up into this balanced being that can transmute energies, even the most negative energies, into something real positive. And you've been doing that by taking the actions that you've been taking to plant those seeds. You've been balancing out. You're not getting as frustrated anymore. You're not getting as irate about others anymore. You're getting more. You're able to say, okay, well, I'm gonna balance out more. Then I'm gonna create more. I'm just gonna plant more. And this is a beautiful leveling up process for you to be this alchemist. Of course, you're my air sister, and so speaking words, you've gotten much better and become a master of speaking words with intent into the waters, into the water. Speak words of water into the water that you drink into. This will be super powerful for you. But speaking into water more will be great for you. Even speaking into the water during your meditative state that you're going to use then to water your seeds, really incorporating that water and your words, your powerful words of wisdom, your element, in your element, into the water, then into the seeds, and really getting that alchemical process in flow and going. We have got also, there is ones on that channel you need to go down, those words of wisdom, that those sounds that you'll be speaking into other people's waters, the sounds that you'll be making will be more powerful than you know. We have got the Queen of Swords as the next card. You are the Queen of Swords. You need to get this channel opened, running, flowing. You know, I don't know how much more you want me to say, but the Two of Swords, the to-ing and fro-ing of which direction you want to go in, you know, really, you know which direction you need to go in. Just don't procrastinate any longer, because we need you, Susie. And so this aspect of you needs to come forward now. It's time. With that Ace of Wands, this is Susie's attic. Love you. Love you, sister. Sex change. Who's been having a sex change? I was saying elderberry. I was saying elderberry for the longest time too, Jax. Your card, Susie, cute. My Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords just pops up again there. Don't you just love that? So, hey, Charlie Levi. Nice to see you on Facebook there. Yeah, she does need to put her mouth to that water and brr, brr, brr. Higher mind. Higher mind. I'll leave it at higher minds. Hey, Charlie, thank you for being over there on Facebook. I appreciate you. Higher mind. Oh, it's just higher. Knight of Wands, higher minds. This is about you being in flow. This is mutable energy, the dancing flames. So you know exactly where you want to be. You know exactly what you want the result to be of a certain aspect of your life. Maybe being a bit too fixed in the process though, and to be more mutable, to be more easy going as to the windy road rather than the straight road, to your focus point, to your where you want to be, is going to be very powerful for you, because actually you're going to meet people along the way, in doing that, in being in flow with the energies, in flow with the universe, that will serve your end goal, your end product, your end idea. And so to be, I can see you meeting a lot of people. I don't know if you're planning a road trip. If you are, go on it, because the people that you meet are going to be integral to your end goal, and plus just another part of your tapestry of this experience of life. Now, the Page of Cups and the Five of Coins. Page of Cups, Five of Coins. I don't know if you've got a child involved in the situation. It speaks to you feeling left out, feeling cut out of that part of a certain, in entirety or in a certain part of the process, in having a say or a decision over a child. It also speaks to the exploration within yourself with this Knight of Wands, to that inner child within yourself, and where this lack mentality got in with this Five of Pentacles, where this almost, I don't know, guilt of wanting riches, of attaining riches or having riches, where this lack mentality got in as a child, going back into that and looking back at that and transmuting that will be very powerful for your end goal now, for the goals that you have now, and the enjoyment with this Knight of Wands that you can then have, releasing this burden of this lack mentality, of this hard-working mentality, of maybe the limitations and labels that, you know, certain professions are good, you know, hard-working, you know, working all of the hours, that's a good thing. But being the Knight of Wands, being more mutable and adventurous, and you know, being more open to possibilities, you know, is a bad thing. You know, so maybe there's some little seeds still left over of that too. Clarify with me, please, higher minds, whether you have a child in a situation that you don't feel you have a decision, stake in a decision making. Hey, Robert V. Hello, my brother. Because we've got the Queen of Coins on the bottom of the deck. So this would involve a mother. Mm. Yes, that would be the Queen of, that would be the Queen of Cups. I think that would be a good thing, Charlie. I do think that would be a good thing. So, Charlie, I was actually reading for Higher Minds there, and Charlie, who the YouTube people can't see, is on Facebook and going through nearly the same scenario as Higher Mind Creations. So Higher Mind Creations, I'm going to do this, and then Charlie, I'm going to pull some extra cards for you. Hey, Lisa Pearl, good day on Facebook. Thank you for being here. Please share the post out. Because this isn't nice, Higher Minds. Charlie, you wait in there on Facebook because this reading came for you too. So you hanging on in there, and I'm going to come back to you and add to this for you, because that Queen of Cups is definitely, Queen of Coins, sorry, is definitely your mother for sure. Okay, so Higher Minds. This is a nice situation for you. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Is it involving this infusion and education? That's what it feels like, and that's what it feels like it's coming, if not. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just putting the cards away that I've used for today, so I don't get puzzled. So for Higher Minds. Thank you, Lisa Pill, sharing the post on Facebook. I appreciate that. Oh, Charlie, I know, sweetheart, there's nothing worse than mother's betrayal. Sometimes it hurts. I read you, Peter. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. I appreciate that very much. So for Higher Minds, feels like a little boy. Boys, a girl, little bit of a tomboy, not unlike myself when I was a kid. So you're being cut out of the situation, big style. What does the Knight of Wands need to do in this situation? You know, Higher Minds and Charlie as well. This is happening so much. This is happening so much. I'm noticing people are coming to me and being cut out of decisions that will change their child's life. Some take their child's life. and it is devastating. But higher minds. So higher minds, this is something that I know you're telling yourself you're stuck in, and it feels very stuck because this Queen of Coins is being very challenging, and the Ten of Cups is underneath her. So she's taken ownership of the child, so to speak, or children. This is where you are being put in this defensive position. It feels like everything from your past and even past lives is being bringing up, and thrown at you from this direction. Every mistake you've ever made is being thrown at you from this direction, putting you in the defensive position. This is where I want you to not react to the trickery, to the bombardment of everything that you've done over the time that you've lived. Even stuff that you've done before you even met this person, putting you in this defensive position, holding your ground, knowing that you do actually have a higher ground here, because the more that she does this, the more that she actually unravels and starts to become a little unhinged. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles on top of your child, the Page of Coins. And so this is where we've got the Ten of Pentacles under this Queen of Coins. So the Ten of Coins, and we've got the Ten of Coins, Ten of Pentacles under this Page of Cups, sorry. So I don't know if your child's a water sign, might be nothing, but your child is being emotionally affected by this. Your child loves you and adores you as they do their mother. But the Ten of Pentacles is that you are part of this child's inheritance, and you are partly guardian of this child. You're fully guardian, and the mother is fully guardian, and it is for you to act with good integrity towards that child in order to release this Ten of Pentacles, this alignment. It may be that you actually go down a road of not manipulation, but of pure love towards this child, and not being bullied with that Seven of Wands by this energy, this mother that is wanting to take complete and total dominion over the child. It's the legal actions on the line. Queen of Swords, she's going to start burning herself, because this is going to start getting very negative and manipulative. Making sure that you have some kind of line of contact with your child, maintaining the truth between yours and that child's relationship is integral right now, because there are certain things being said to the child that should never be said. My kids, the door's shut, my kids' father, for all the reasons. I could have been talking shit about him all of the time. I won't do that, because my children look like him. My children have aspects of him. So there's certain aspects of him that I can't help but still adore, because to do that, to throw those words, those kinds of manipulative words, those kinds of degrading words of their father, is to degrade them, because he is a part of them. And so it is a nasty thing to do. So making sure that line of communication, whatever you need to do to open up that line of communication, needs to continue. The Three of Swords, I'm sorry, higher minds, there's a lot of pain involved in this, and more pain to come. And it does feel like it is going to involve decisions over this infusion. You here being the King of Wands. So we've gone from the Knight of Wands in that slightly defensive position, with the Seven of Wands, to becoming the king. I want you to do that inner work, to really go into that meditative state. You're hanging, is higher minds, whatever you call it, tag, whatever you call it, is higher minds. Go into that higher mind, go into that field of possibilities, be that fire, that force, to manifest into a reality where you have a kingship over your child's life, a dominion, a protective government over your child's life, and have the ability to protect from the government and decisions that this mother, who is losing her shit, quite frankly, is making or going to make. Now, I want to give you some solace in that this is a very deep and hurtful reading and almost gone into full reading, but the sun comes out. Now, this being the most glorious card in the tarot, the major arcana, it will be shone, light will be shone on your situation. You will find the right people, the right person to give you the ability to shine light into the Five of Pentacles, into that position that you are cut out of, and give you the ultimate dominion and over the way that your child is grown, the way that your child grows up. And so to be that way for sure is this had to come down this way. You know, your child needs you. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Higher minds, let me know. So for you, Charlie, that reading spoke of you a lot, but let's just see. I'm sorry, Charlie. Your child who passed away, one of my children transitioned to, is fine, absolutely fine. Don't worry about on that note. So you're in a very difficult position here, but I want you to start to see yourself in a different way, Charlie, that you are not under your parents anymore. I feel like you've had quite a bullied upbringing regarding your parents, in particular your father, that you've been very bullied about who you're supposed to be with, who you're supposed to, what you're supposed to look like, you know, and nothing's ever been good enough. I want you to do the inner work to release from that, to let go from that, because that's where they're getting a lot of their power from, your perception. You're still looking at yourself through their lens, so to speak, and cutting your mom out. You know, these cards don't want to pull for you. I'll do the other deck. Cutting your mom out of the picture is a super important thing. And she's your mom, but just because she's your mom does not mean you can't gain from the lessons and experience that you've had with her, but you can absolutely know that you can take dominion over your life by cutting that out. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles for you also, Charlie, but it's in reverse. And so it's there, it's yours, but you're not quite reaching it, which would speak to your son. You're not quite in reach of it. You're not quite getting a hold of it. That would be your son, the King of Cups. Your father, actually, in his decision making, really feels that he's doing this out of necessity, out of love. But he has a very strict love. He has a very definite position and perception of what love is and how love should look. So the child will be nourished, but the child deserves to be nourished by your influence too. This is your child, you know, birthed from your loins, your seed. It feels like in your father's mind you've never grown up, so still looking down at you like a child, still looking down at the decisions that you've made as though they are childish. So we've got on the bottom of the deck, the Nine of Swords. I know that you've been having sleepless nights and you've been having nightmares, and this is due to stress. And so we need to get you to de-stress. I want you to do those rituals. And I know this feels odd because everything in you just needs to concentrate on this stress, and every motherly instinct within you is wanting to, you know, be on fire about this stress and this situation. I want you to do everything that you can to unwind and de-stress, and know that you're doing that for your son also, because this is where in doing that you can get better sleep. I need you to get better sleep in order for you to be able to think clearly, act clearly, and have more clear intent, and of course better health. So this Nine of Swords is for sure and not a nice feeling, but it's your body, your spirit screaming out for you to do whatever you can do to balance out again, to de-stress and focus on you just for a little while to get that balance in place. The Ten of Pentacles being in reverse speaks of, you know, it's in grasp. Your child is in grasp, but you're not quite doing the right moves, making the right decisions, saying the right words to have your child in your care again. Now, that King of Cups that I mentioned is that your dad has this perceived perception of what love is and how it should look, and nobody else's ways are acceptable or good enough, so to speak. So, and the Page of Pentacles speaks of the child, and the child actually loving your dad, but feeling disconnected because the disconnect is you. And so what do you need to do, though? What do you need to do? What does Charlie need to do? I'm just going to give you that one. The World card. So that came out for somebody else from a different deck, though, for Holly, I think it was. So there is this ability within you to manifest your reality, but you do have to let go of being the child in this situation, living under the perception and the lens that your parents put you under, never letting you grow up in their eyes, never sort of giving you kudos for good things that you've done, good decisions, and looking after yourself for quite some time now. You know, letting go of the want for that. The Seven of Staffs speaks to you stopping attacking yourself, especially with that Nine of Wands, Page of Cups again, the Empress. So, but the Empress is in reverse. So speaking words of power into your life. This is in reverse. The Empress is through your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. So your actions manifest your reality. At the moment, you're allowing yourself to look through the lens of other people's perception of you. In order to get your son back, you do need to step back. He's safe for now. Take some time out to speak powerful words to yourself. Recalibrate and realign yourself. You know, speaking those words of power and wisdom and abundance into your reality for sure. Is going to turn this situation around and create the reality, create the world with your child close to you and in your care that you desperately want. But it has to start coming from within. You've been trying to sort of fix it on the outside through the relationships with your parents and whatnot, and that hasn't been working. And finally, you've cut your mother out. And this is time now. Take this time to get yourself powerful, to become the Empress. You are the Empress. The Empress has come out. It's a huge major arcana card, but it's in reverse. You're not accepting the power within you. You're not accepting the possibilities and potentials of you. And in doing this, I feel you're going to have less of a legal battle, that actually it's going to be a natural process of you gaining back your child through the recognition of your parents, through you doing you for a while and making those right decisions, taking those right actions, speaking differently about yourself, speaking differently about life, about situations, is all going to turn this around for sure. I feel so, but I understand where you're at, and I understand it might be like, yeah, that's not so easy. No, it's not so easy, but you can do it. You've been through the loss of a child from this physical into transition. This is where you're strong enough. You just need to recognize that to turn this around. So, Peter, Aaron Smith. You know, they have these chakra pictures on their Facebook, and you know, all love and light, jumping on other people's work. Well, I'm all love and light, and I can still say screw you. I hope that helps, Charlie. Cigarette. Paul, I'm reading for you next time, so I don't know if you asked for a reading, but you know, you're going to get one now because you said I hadn't ever read for you. I don't know if I have or not, But if I haven't, that is a tragedy, brother. Gonna get you. Complete opposite of your idea of love, Charlie. I know it's a very fixed sense of love. It's a very, I would say, skewish sense of what love is. Love is in flow, love is ever changing, and it's creative in itself, which is how you love a child, because the child is forever growing and changing and expanding. I completely agree with you. I was saying from his idea, he has a very from fixed sense of love, of like love looks like this, getting up at this time in the morning and doing this at this time of day, doing this at this time of day. It's very fixed. And I think that comes from your dad's childhood. So you're the one that can break these chains, sweetness. Let me know how you get on though. Leave a comment on my page if you're on Facebook, and let me know how you get on for sure. And ignore these trolls in the thing. Lisa Pill, thank you for the sunshine. Oh, yeah, thank you, Charlie. They're so rude, aren't they, on Facebook? They've got these beautiful spiritual chakra copyright-free pictures, on the icon, and then they're touting for business, and give something away and your business will come to you. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa Pearl, for the sunshine, and thank you, Charlie, for that. She says, and I will not be contacting this rudo because it is damn rude. Gaia, hugs to you, my sister, and hugs to the family. I picked a card on Wayne's show. Good. Okie dokie. So I've got to go, Paul, but I'm going to pick you a card just to let you know for your day. And then I promise I'll get to you next time, tomorrow or something, a proper reading. Four of Staffs. So it's all about making changes in the home that make you happy today. As simple as like getting a certain plant that you see that makes you happy and putting it in a strategic place in the house. I'm not afraid to read you, Peter, walk through your mind. The Four of Staffs, in the certain, I don't know if you're thinking about decorating or just putting certain key things, certain quite eccentric things will actually, green glass and things like that in your home, Paul, that I don't know, just brings an element of cheer to your home, and creates actually so small things that create big differences. And so creating changes in the place that you're living at, just small trinkets that really catch your eye, is super lovely for you. Eight of Pentacles, it just gives you a reflective space to be comfortable in. But actually the Emperor being there too, you're really taking control. And you are a very deliberately underestimated character, in that you don't have your ego pushing forward, bouncing up in with people like Mr. Blobby before you even enter the room. You're very underrated, or you make yourself that way. But I see that you are an emperor, and that you do have a lot of self-control, and you do have a lot of structure to you, and formation to you. And through that, you can create things that are symbiotic, that are happy, that are places of comfort. People like being around you. There's a certain level of letting go in the home, being a little bit more wild in your eccentric choices of these trinkets, of these plants, will bring a happiness to you. Jax, did you want a card? Right, so Paul and Jax, I've got you. Susie, don't let me forget. But I've got you on the list for tomorrow. Yeah, is that okay? So I've got to go. Gonna try and get back on, but see how I go. I hate leaving people out. So I think I've got everybody for now. Hey, Suzanne. Right, okay, so I've got Jax and I've got Paul and Peter. If you dare, he says. I'll dance through that mind hearing all that different music. And you'll just feel a little Jenny bopping up and down in that mind. Oh, Paul says he's doing his flattened garden. Spot on, Jennifer. I have white and green wallpaper to go up. That's going to look real nice, Paul, because I saw definitely the green. I saw definitely you then incorporating green glass on a windowsill that will reflect the light. You've got it. You've got the picture in your mind. You've got it perfect. You're gonna make it look beautiful. It's gonna be a happy space. People are gonna want to be there. Congratulations on your new flat. Hey, Keith, got the bracelet on. Oh, I did it now, he says. Yeah, I'm going to be raving on up in that brain, Peter. I'm saying that, turn the channels over so fast. I'll be like, what? What did you say? What? How did you know that? Thomas, hello to you. Okay, I love you all. Appreciate you all. Jax, I'm going to have you on my mind. Paul and Peter. I've got done Paul, Peter and Jax. See, already. I'm going to write it down. Write it down because I know myself. Jax, dreaming. Got you. Love you, sister. Thank you for holding space, Susie Q and Elder Barry. I appreciate and love you being the best moderators ever. Yes, if Susie's got it in her mind, because I could lose that piece of paper, but Susie has it in her mind, or Elder Barry has it in his mind, and I'm okay because it's like they remember stuff. They remember stuff. Love you all. Michelle D. Okay. Mwah, 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 mwah. Happy days. Look at that fire on the water. They're going to be deliberately doing more oil strikes regarding pipelines. Be aware of that. Fill up your tanks, particularly in America. They're going to be deliberately, they'll say it's a natural accident, it's a natural thing. Is it? Heck? They're going to be doing some more key points, hitting some more key points that will cause lack. Of course, if you want a personal reading with me, there's my sister putting it up. Any spiritual coaching sessions or any super cool, fun energy sessions, hit me up on that email or go to my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Favor to all, says Jax. Paul says, just before I go, been digging up the garden this week, been finding some broken green glass. So there's your hint, brother. You need that glass. You're very welcome, Charlie. Let me know on Facebook there how you're getting on with that. Remember, I want you to write those powerful words down on your cupboards, on your window, on your phone, on your mirror, and be speaking those words of power into your life for sure. Ali Ishan Erkan. Is that your name? That's about as best as I can do without glasses on. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Much love, balance, and wholeness. Mwah.